Oh, hey Reese, what's going on today? Hi, how you going? It is, of course, me, Reese T. O'Leary of perpelFLAME and Company. That's right, say it with me. PERPELFLAME. And you're joining me here for another Soulful Sunday. And I'm really excited for this Soulful Sunday episode because it is something that is obviously, when you find out, very, very near and dear to me, and it also is something that I use frequently. Probably one of the most frequent tools in my arsenal that I do use, and that is, of course, intuition. So, before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification. Smash that bell notification, if you will. And that way you'll find out whenever we release a new video on this channel. You can also go over to the Facebook meta page, follow us there. But of course, we've only got 10 minutes together, so let's get straight into it. Now, what is intuition? So, intuition is, and I will of course always put information up there for you, but intuition, and it is incumbent on you to do your own research on these topics as well, don't forget. So, intuition, it is the ability to perceive things without, I guess, a reasonable way to know those things. And if you know me well enough, you're probably here for the reason of my intuition, because you may know of me for my ability to perceive things really accurately and finitely without any way of knowing. Now, over the years, this term has, I guess, been attached to the likes of psychics, which is what I'm known as, mediums, witches, the intuitive community, as I like to reference us as, and many, many more people. But scientifically, historically, there is so much more evidence than just woo-woo information, or it's not just something that's made up in someone's mind. Now, historically, there are so many, reference points to people in history like Plato and Plato's teachings on the topic of intuition, as well as many others that have actually spoken on the intuition and detailed information about the intuition, which I would wholeheartedly recommend that you do go and look into. Intuition is not easily explainable, yes, but it is something that everybody has access to. Now, if you ask me personally, I believe it's connected to our fight, flight, or freeze responses, and trauma, I believe, can make someone more intuitive or highly intuitive. I also believe that, it's our experiences that add to our intuition and our knowledge base in which we can draw upon for our intuitive capabilities, right? So, my intuition over the years has taken me to some really strange places, but nonetheless, I have always trusted, not always, I'll be honest, not always. In the beginning, I did not trust. I did not understand what was happening or what I was experiencing or what was making me perceive things in the way that in which I was perceiving them. So, I guess people are wondering as well, is there actually any scientific evidence of intuition? Yes. Your intuition can be attributed towards the amygdala, which is a part of your brain, and your intuition can be attributed to certain emotional states of beings as well. It's a really, really fascinating aspect of humanity, and even animals. You can see animals in nature in different contexts to have intuition as well, and how they use that and how we use our intuition, I think these days may be vastly different in one context, but from another context, a lot more similar than I think we all realize. Yes. So, what else can I tell you about intuition? When it comes to the chakras, yes, track number 5 on the chakra ameliorate. Oh, no, track number 6. Track number 6, so the third eye, ajna, is what's connected to the intuitive capabilities, as well as I would also say the heart chakra, so track number 4, right? However, your intuition is something that you will always have in your world, and it is something that if you don't already lean into, I really wholeheartedly think you should start to. Whether you choose to believe it or not, you use your intuition every day. Yeah, it could be as simple as, oh, I guess that was going to happen, you know. Some people may say this is the law of averages, the law of odds, but in my personal opinion, that is what leans into intuition, is the law of averages and the law of odds. You know, you can't always just be lucky guessing that things are going to occur or, you know, happen in your situations and circumstances. It's very interesting, you know, many people over the years have said to me, can psychics read for themselves? You know, can I accurately predict things happening to me? And the answer is yes, you can. However, when certain aspects of the emotional states of being get involved, this is where it becomes a little difficult, yes, because we can tend to add in resistance or blockage because we have personal ties. So one thing I've noticed with my intuition over the years is it really is incumbent on me to separate my being, myself as a whole, from my situations and circumstances that I may be experiencing, put those aside in order for me to be able to actually intuit from a neutral space, you know. And this is where the information is so pure and, generally speaking, incredibly accurate, yes. Now, I also say to people over the years with my readings, my intuition affords me the ability to look at the choices that people haven't made in their own lives yet. Yes, I know, a bit of a paradox, but think about it. Just think about what I said there. So I can look at the choices that you have not even made yet, and I can determine which timeline or which path you are heading on based on where you are right now, which of course you can change at any moment, right? Based on your intuition, of course. Now, I want to talk about, before we run out of time as well, extrasensory perceptions just a little bit further. So everybody, I suppose, going back into the topic of psychics, right, has heard of the terminology of a clairvoyant, yes? Now, the extrasensory perception is heavily tied to our intuition and acts almost as an extension of our physical sense. Well, it does. It acts as a non-physical extension to our physical senses. So, smelling, hearing, tasting, right, seeing, knowing, yes, and they're called the clair senses. So, we can all have and do have access to these clair senses, and we can all train them, you know. I've told people over the years it's much like a muscle that we can consistently train and bring to a new point of clarity and a new point of use, right? And when people get to a certain state of being where they have many of their senses trained, right, it becomes incredible to see how that is put to use. You know, during certain points of history, even governments have lent into people who have extrasensory perceptive abilities. And, you know, remote viewing, for example, is something, I mean, it kind of leans into a different area yet again, but it's something that was used by the American government, the Russian government, many other governments, to foresee different things in different places of the world. And that, of course, is, again, something we can all tune into and tap into. So, I want you to think about your intuition and in what ways you use your intuition. Because if people began to really use it and act upon it and trust it a lot more, I think we would all find that our world may be in a little better of a positioning to understand each other and to come together more and to raise the collective frequency more, the global collective consciousness frequency, you know, start seeing through the eyes of others a bit more. I really encourage everyone to start to look into many different aspects of the intuition and how it may or may not, you know, impact your lives. If you don't use it more, use it more. If you use it a lot, how can you strengthen it? You know, have you tried out telepathy, for example, psychometry, you know, all these different aspects that we can train our intuition with and we can use our intuition for. So I hope you enjoyed that episode today of Soulful Sunday on intuition, and I'm curious, you know, what are your intuitive insights based on this video? Put them down in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for being here with me. Bye. Catch us on the flip side.